moment if I am on. Alright, it looks like I'm live. Okay, welcome Kings and Queens to Knuckle Dragger Finance. If you're watching for the replay, thank you for joining. The market just opened. Diversified retail is back in the beginning, or back on top with Amazon. I did end up trading a couple more shares of UEC. Today we'll look at a few things, a couple of big news topics in crypto. We'll look at our stocks. And then we'll get into a little bit of other things too. But right now we're just going to look at the market open and the overview. Also, I did order a microphone. I had it all set up, but for whatever reason, it didn't want to work. It was an open box off of eBay, but it was more like a destroyed box. So it is what it is. I'll be getting a new microphone very soon. But as we can see, things are already up in the market open. Let's check in on UEC. I sold at 413, 412 yesterday, I believe it was. I sold when the cross happened, whenever, I don't remember when it was, but I sold when there was a cross, so I am timing better, thankfully. But I do think that this one has a lot of potential of just continuing up in the long term, or even in the short term, actually. So I'm going to hold on to these 10, and the reason I did sell the couple is because if we do get a little bit of disconcerting feeling in the next couple of days, depending on whatever the market is doing, which we'll talk about, like why Pelosi, or not why Pelosi's in Thailand, but just, we'll talk about that a little bit. Maybe it'll go a little bit lower so I can get some buying opportunities. So we had a little quick dip there. You can see there's a cross on the MACD. RSI is tanking, but we are within the first couple of minutes, so it's nothing too crazy yet. Starbucks, high of 86. We're getting very close to where our buy-in was. We're only $1.97. So this is why I love swing trading, and this is why I'm completely okay with it. My risk tolerance is pretty high. So when I see something go down $10, $11, I'm not going to panic about it if I have planned for it. So I saw, so even when Starbucks was at 76 or whatever it was, I know the company pretty well, so I knew that they were going to get back up, and now I'm only $2 and change loss. So I'm expecting it to drop a little bit. Actually, let's back out a little. See, there we go again, clicking that all the time. I'm not tired. I don't know why I yawn all the time when I start talking in the morning. Okay, so looks like UEC and Starbucks had a bit of a dip in the morning. Yesterday, as we were watching these guys right here, we were hearing, or I should say I guess you guys weren't with me. Oh, sorry about that. They were talking about how Starbucks is still subject to, people buying drinks basically in the market. So it's not a coffee commodity type stock. It still is subject to whatever people are spending their money on. They were saying that, not everyone's going to go to something that's in between a Starbucks or something that they can get at Starbucks for a little cheaper. They're like, there's nothing in between going to Starbucks or going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting a coffee. So that's that. Commodities is something I'm going to start looking into on these lives as we get a little bit more into things. Let's check Webull again. Let's look at space. And they were talking about space the other day too. Basically just mentioning how they might be getting into astronaut training and such. And as you can see, the news that we've been getting about space is really good. So we're at just under $8 now. So same thing. This is why I love swing trading. I bought in at $8 and change, and when everything tanked, I'm not going to say I wasn't prepared for it. I mean, I guess I wasn't, if you really want to be technical, but it's more of I was already anticipating on holding these for quite a while because of the amount of time that I knew I had available to focus on trading. So when I did my buy-ins, I knew that they were low enough, and I had confidence that they would be up at those levels again. So 841 is my average price on this. We're about in the $8 range, and we keep getting good news on Virgin Galactic holding. So let's see if there's any new news from the last little bit. So the astronaut campus in New Mexico is what seems to be what's pushing their news right now. Because more than just bringing tourists into space, they want to get into other things in that realm. So, and this is how I trade sometimes. I won't do this on live where I'll just sit here and stare at one chart, but I'll just watch these and just see how they flow, because you can tell the indicators, sometimes the lines will switch up within the minute. All right, UEC back at 416. So, and then now AT&T, I think I mentioned before, I sold at 1840. Probably won't pick any more up in this account. I want more volatile stocks, and that one just wasn't doing it. Starbucks, that's dropping. Not surprised. Let's look at UEC, because if that keeps going lower, then we could have a good buying opportunity depending on how it looks. Looks like the lines are still way far away from crossing, so this could keep dipping down. Volume's weakening a little bit. Yeah, we might be able to get a buy on UEC today. We can find out. I'd be looking for around the 395 level. If it stays above 395, I buy it around there, maybe one or two more shares again. If it goes way below that, then I would look for my next support line, which is 375. All right, let's look a little bit at the crypto charts, or not charts, but at least what crypto is doing. So Bitcoin at $23,000, so it's down a little bit from where it was last week. We did see that 25. Ethereum is at 1,600. That Ethereum's been holding pretty strong. As you can see, the last week it's up 4% more than Bitcoin is, and that's relative. So not saying it is 4% more than Bitcoin. And the market caps, as you can see, are closing the gap. So Bitcoin dominance is now at 39.6%. And Ethereum is at 17.7%, which I'm reading right up here. And our market cap is currently $1,125,000,000 and then some odd whatevers. Trillion. $1,125 billion and then millions of dollars. So we're up 125 billion in the past week, roughly. So looking down, even though these say 99 cents, if you go and do an exchange on exchange for a USDC or a USDT, you'll still be getting $1. I think if you're doing decentralized exchanges and you're moving millions of dollars, then you might be able to see this little bit of arbitrage, but that was more back in the day type of arbitrage. BNB is holding over 290. We were seeing it at, I think, 260 something last week and about 230 the week before that. Now Ripple, they're waiting on, I guess, some new news. But at the same time, Ripple's always waiting on some new news from the SEC in that little fight. Cardano's holding over 50 cents. Now I know a lot of people are a little bit on both ways when it comes to Cardano. I like the project. I have some staked away for my nieces, but at the same time, it's not something that I'm going to be trading and expecting to make $1 million on right now. And a lot of that just has to do with sentiment in the market. Not because I don't believe in the project, but just there are a lot of people who are holding this for the long term, but there are a lot of people who just won't touch it. Polkadot is another one that I am starting to DCA back into. Dogecoin, I mean, it's Dogecoin. I'm not the biggest fan of meme coins anymore, but I am going to start looking into them, seeing what they are, just so I can keep everyone updated. Avalanche still at $23. Polygon, that is up another 17%, so it's up 5% in the past 24 hours. This was down at like 50 cents the last week. It is a layer 2 on Ethereum. It helps with faster, and you can do more transactions on it, or I should say that is a benefit of using it. And this was just it was cresting the $2 range before the crash really happened. I was very bullish, and I still am very bullish on Matic /Polygon. yeah, honestly, it's just me getting my bags up to where they were. Let's see, Uniswap up at $9. So grateful that I exchanged on Uniswap. Litecoin down a little bit from when I last checked it was at like $61 or something. Litecoin I use mostly just for transacting and moving crypto because it's so quick. Chronos, well, let me rephrase that. Litecoin is not quick. That is not what I meant to say. Cheap. Litecoin is not quick. It takes 15 minutes to a half hour every time I try to transact in it. But it is cheap. That's what I meant to say. And available on pretty much every exchange. Chainlink, still holding strong. Got a bunch more to look into down here. So VeChain is another one that I'm really bullish on. I got to get my bag back up in that. But that's for supply chain, basically supply chain tracking. So imagine if VeChain was up and running when all these supply chain issues were happening in the beginning of COVID. I mean, it would have been mind-blowing in a good way. Decentraland, under $1. This one made it up to $5. I made a decent amount on this. Bought it at like 25 cents, 50 cents, something like that. Sandbox, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I don't know if that pump before was just because it was a hot coin and you could get it pretty easily, or if they were really making some big moves. I've heard some bad news about Axie Infinity, but I don't want to go into that, so I don't know too much about it. Now, Theta Network. So Theta.tv is the site, and you can think of it like YouTube, but on a ledger or on the blockchain. And you can tip the creators, and I mean it's like another YouTube. I do plan on using it as soon as I possibly can, but this one, when I first bought into it, it was at like $4 or something, got up to like $13. I know I still have at least a few on a Theta wallet somewhere. I think it is actually tied to the Theta TV because I was going to be using it. I have some T-Fuel in there too, which might be around here. So T-Fuel is the gas for Theta TV. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on the first page, at least not from what I see. But yeah, so Theta TV is an alternative to YouTube, basically. So in the future, when things are on the blockchain, as far as movies or not movies, but visual stuff like this, I see that getting really big. eGold down at $58. That made it up to like 200 and change, maybe even higher than that before. All right, yeah, KuCoin. That I'm surprised with how strong that is holding. That was down at like $1 and change when I first started using KuCoin. Got up to like $23. But where it was holding before, I think it was like $4 or $7, and went up to the 23 or whatever it was, dropped back down, and it's been holding up there pretty well. So yeah, well, there's basically the first page. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, by the way, nothing on this channel is financial advice. It's for education and entertainment purposes only. Please talk to a professional when it comes to making a decision for yourself, when it comes to any of this stuff at all. We always want to make sure that we are not doing things just off of what we're seeing on the interwebs. So let's look at the charts again real quick. Actually, let's look at Webull, see what the overall market is doing. All right, computer and phones took out retail. Let's see over here. Oh, there is, by the way, I believe it's UEC's share. The earnings are tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can quick see that. So, yeah, if I don't see it real quick, I would just say, make sure you look it up. I believe tomorrow is the earnings call for UEC. If you want to check that out. Yeah, I'll look into that another time. But Apple is at the top of computer and phones and household. What else do we have? Sony, Seagate. Okay, so they make a lot of hard drives, computers, stuff. All right, cool. So seeing a lot of computer related specifically. Okay. So yeah, that's a lot of computers. I mean, I know they make phones and such too. Don't know what to make of that. We'll see. But either way, what we're seeing right now, S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, we're all in the positive, which is definitely great to hear, especially from before. What's our space looking like? We are at $8, up $7.99, and let's back out, see what that's looking like. Could be making a flag. Ooh, that could be really making a flag. If that makes a flag, then and it pops out, could be looking at about $8.50, $8.80, something like that. And if that happens, then we are at our break even or even in profit. We're at $8.41 is what my mark is. So again, I know I said this at the beginning of the video, but this is why I love swing trading. If you sit on it for a little bit longer and you believe in the company, you can make your money back. You don't always have to trade. So this could be a flag on a bigger chart if you're looking at 5 minutes. Maybe. Or it could be a W. But either way, you see the MACD, the line's almost crossed right there, but not quite. Didn't quite have the volume. Volume's coming back up. This is looking really good. I'm liking what I'm seeing with SPCE. Thank you, Virgin Galactic Holdings, for... And this is the reason I got Virgin Galactic Holdings as far as a swing trade is because I believe in Richard Branson. It's literally the only reason why. If I didn't know the company as far as a space company, or what else they did besides having like Richard Branson as the guy, I wouldn't have bought it. And the reason I got UEC as a more swing trade is because, and same thing with Starbucks, is because I know the company is better. Starbucks, I do get Starbucks every now and again. But I read the founder, Howard Schultz, I believe it is. I read his story back in the day, and just I believe in the company. UEC, it's a uranium. I won't necessarily call it a clean energy, but it lasts a whole long time. It's pretty cheap. And this went up to like $6 and change before the market turned around again. So I believe in the company. They're making good acquisitions. So we'll see where everything goes from there. But let's look. I got a couple of articles I wanted to just briefly go over real quick. Now I'm not going to really get into this at all. I just wanted to bring this up as like the picture for it, what I was going to mention. But yes, Pelosi is over in Taiwan. China was telling them don't come because they're going to, it's going to mess up the one China rule. But she went anyway, and they started doing tests, military tests, basically miles off the shore of Taiwan. So, in my opinion, and I've heard other people mention this too, and this is strictly my opinion, I believe that Pelosi is going over in Taiwan right now, making such a big stink over something. Because honestly, just why are someone in Taiwan, a Taiwanese lady who was being interviewed, said that they feel like they're being used as a pawn piece, or they're being used as a chess piece, like they're being a pawn to play in this game of America versus China type thing. So when they were saying that, I thought about it, and then it reminded me of when Pelosi's husband just sold all that Nvidia stock. And I'm pretty sure it's because, I think this is just to kind of deter what's going on with all her selling, or her husband selling a bunch of shares. Who knows? Insider trading, maybe, maybe not. But anyways, Dow Jones falls a bit. Oh, that was the other one. Okay, so done on that. There was an article that I thought I clicked on here. I think this is where it says something about Taiwan, but whatever. So, MicroStrategy replaced Michael Saylor as CEO. Here's why. Michael Saylor really went, what if we take this really volatile asset and buy a bunch on margin, and an entire community heralded him as a hero? That is what Patrick Patel, CFA, says. So I had a feeling that this is what I was going to be reading when I was opening this up, and it doesn't surprise me. So Michael Saylor basically, when Bitcoin, as it was going up, starting in the $20-something thousand range, he started buying a whole lot for MicroStrategy, ended up leveraging against some of their assets, or a lot of their assets. So they have a whole lot of assets currently, or of Bitcoin wrapped up in their assets. So MSTR is their ticker. They have appointed Fong Li as CEO. He replaced Michael Saylor, who has also co-founded the business software firm. So and it's kind of, I won't say surprising, but he's been CEO for 20 years. I think since like the company was founded. It's been a very long time. So I'm not going to read through all this, but basically, it's a pretty big deal. I wanted to just show this real quick since I am getting back into crypto. If you guys don't know, the Bitcoin white paper is available for you to read anywhere you want to read it. Or I shouldn't say anywhere you want to read it, but just Google Bitcoin white paper, and this will explain effectively what Bitcoin was originally created for, and it has to do with the market in 2008 crashing and how everything was manipulated. But it's a good read because a lot of cryptos that are trying to mimic Bitcoin will say that they're just doing this better. So I just highly recommend anyone reading that. Okay, Lunar Crush. I didn't log in. Darn it, I'm gonna have to log in for y'all. So I'll log in another time for you guys, but I use this as a metric to, let me see if I can still see them. No, I can't, darn it. Okay, I gotta log in next time. It tells me like which altcoins are hot and whatnot, or it's like the social engagement, I guess you could say, and other things, but Bitcoin rainbow chart right now says that 23,000, we're in the blue region, so it's basically a fire sale. So if you're buying Bitcoin right now, effectively you're buying it on a fire sale. So good job. DCA, dollar cost average. If you're trying to time the market then, and you're doing it right now, maybe you're doing it right. I don't know. Ethereum flips Bitcoin in key metrics. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read this yet because I was getting a little bit close to the market being opened, but that was a pretty enticing title, so go check it out. Let me know what it says. And I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee real quick. All right. So, all that being said, I have $182 in this account. I believe this account was either $150 or $175. I do have to get what the start of it was. All I know is that I am in the positive, in the green. That is good. I have $55.63 liquid. I did take that out originally, or some from AT&T, then I took from UEC, then I bought and sold some Verizon. I wanted to have some cash on the sidelines just in case we do go through another little fluctuation. It doesn't look like we are, so I am glad that I do have positions in things, but I did want to start getting the habit of having cash on hand because the market is it's been crazy the last few years. And there we go. There we go. Let's see what it was. Was it, okay. It looks like it might have been a weirdly shaped cup and handle. Could be a cup and handle, could be a W, could be a lot of things, but either way, we got, let's see, lines might be crossing soon, so it might turn around, the volume's weakening, but at the same time, we got some new highs for space, finally. $8.06. ATR is curving down, so it doesn't surprise me why I'm seeing the MACD showing a little less strength. Same thing with the volume showing a little less strength. RSI going a little sideways because ATR is curving down in tandem with all this other stuff. So that's my basic knowledge of TA right now. And let's see. Overall, we are doing fairly well today. It's not bad for a Wednesday. Wednesday oftentimes can go either way. Lately it seemed to be a pretty red day, but I'm liking it today. I'm liking it a lot. Alright, let's see what else. If you haven't checked them out, I do have other videos on my channel also. I'll attach a video right here for how to determine your risk when it comes to investing, because that's a good thing to know before you get into any of this at all. And if you do want to support this channel, there are some links below for Webull, which is what I'm using right now. I like this kind of layout. And I think there's another link down there for a couple of other things too. Coinbase and Crypto.com, I believe. But if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, leave them in the comments below. I'm going to look around for just another hot second. Let's see what's what. Oh yeah, so as you can see, I have a lot of gold type companies or precious metals type companies in here. I have to re-look into them to see how they're doing lately because I haven't invested, or I haven't taken my deep dive, but let's see. So here's some of the precious metal companies. I had on my watch list. This is going back probably like over a year ago at this point of when I originally put these on the watch list. And yeah, some are minors, some are juniors, some are junior. I think it's junior and senior minors. But yeah, new and more experienced. Let's see. We in precious metals. There it is. So that's the one that I bought last year that I made some money on. It was pretty. I won't say it's dumb luck, but it was one that I bought because I just believe in precious metals. And before I really started looking into them, as far as on stock market type stuff, and it shot up like $20. So I sold it when it shot up like $5. But you know, money is money. I'm happy. But either way, check out the videos that are popping up right now. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you Friday. I need a new exit for the video. If you have any exit recommendations, you can drop those in the comment below too. Anyways, peace.